10. Hidden Gems of Ontario with insane home discounts in 2025. Welcome to today's exploration of Ontario's best-kept secrets. Before we dive in, just remember this. Don't miss number 5 and definitely don't miss number 2. Trust me, what I'm about to reveal about these locations will completely change how you think about affordable housing in Ontario. Let's get started. Number 10. Elliott Lake, the retirement paradise with a twist. Picture this, a town where the average home price is under $150,000, surrounded by pristine lakes and wilderness that rivals Muskoka, but without the million-dollar price tags. Elliott Lake isn't just affordable, it's practically giving away luxury lifestyle for pennies on the dollar. Here's the catch that most people don't realize. This former uranium mining town has completely reinvented itself as a retirement haven. But here's where it gets interesting. The town is so desperate to attract younger families that they're offering incentives that sound too good to be true. We're talking about property tax breaks, utility rebates, and even cash incentives for new residents under 40. The real estate market here is so undervalued that you can literally buy a lakefront property for less than a downtown Toronto parking spot costs for a year. But here's what's really happening behind the scenes. Major infrastructure investments are quietly being made, and smart money is starting to notice. The question is, how long before this secret gets out? And what happens when it does? Number 9. Smooth Rock Falls, the $500 land deal that shocked Canada. Remember when I told you about those unbelievable land deals? Well, Smooth Rock Falls made headlines by selling residential lots for just $500 each. Yes, you heard that right. $500 for land where you can build your dream home. But here's the story they don't tell you in the news reports. This town of barely 1,300 people sits on some of the richest natural resources in northern Ontario, and the local government knows something that outsiders are just beginning to discover. The catch isn't what you think. It's not about isolation or lack of services. The real story is about timing. This community is positioning itself as a gateway to the north, and with climate change opening up new transportation routes and resource opportunities, they're basically giving away golden tickets to future prosperity. The lots come with one condition that's actually brilliant. You have to build within 3 years. This isn't just about cheap land, it's about being part of a community that's betting big on its future. But what they're really betting on might surprise you, and it has everything to do with what's happening in number 5. Number 8. Marathon, where tiny homes meet big dreams. Marathon sits on the shores of Lake Superior, and while most people drive through it on their way to Thunder Bay, they're missing one of the most innovative housing solutions in North America. This town has embraced the tiny home movement like nowhere else in Ontario, but with a twist that's catching the attention of housing experts nationwide. They're not just allowing tiny homes, they're actively encouraging them with special zoning that makes it easier to build and live in alternative housing solutions. The average cost of living here is 30% below the provincial average, but that's not the real story. The real story is about a community that's figured out how to offer luxury living at budget prices. We're talking about properties with Lake Superior views, access to hiking trails that rival anything in the Rockies, and a community that's so welcoming they literally have a program to help newcomers integrate. But here's what makes it really special. The town has managed to maintain all the amenities of a much larger city while keeping the intimate feel of a small community. The question is, how long can they keep this balance? Number 7. Deep River, the nuclear town, with millionaire views. Deep River might be one of the most unique places in all of Ontario, and most people have never even heard of it. This town was literally built by atomic scientists, and it shows in ways that will blow your mind. We're talking about a community where the average education level is off the charts, the architecture is mid-century modern perfection, and the real estate prices are still stuck in the 1970s. Houses that would cost millions in any other scenic location are selling for under $400,000, and we're talking about properties with private beach access on the Ottawa River, surrounded by crown land that ensures your privacy forever. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about cheap housing. This is about joining a community of brilliant minds who have created a utopian lifestyle while the rest of the world wasn't paying attention. The town has amenities that you won't find anywhere else. We're talking about a golf course that rivals private clubs, recreational facilities that would make resort towns jealous, and a community culture that values intellect and innovation above everything else. The question is, are you ready for what makes this place truly special? Number 6. Timmins, the Gold Rush. That never ended. Everyone thinks the Timmins Gold Rush ended decades ago, but they couldn't be more wrong. This city is sitting on the verge of another boom, and the real estate prices haven't caught up yet. We're talking about homes in established neighborhoods for under $200,000, but that's just the beginning. Timmins has something that most Ontario cities would kill for, a diversified economy that isn't dependent on one industry. While other northern Ontario cities struggle with economic uncertainty, Timmins has quietly built a foundation that includes mining, forestry, healthcare, and education. But here's what's really exciting. The city is positioning itself as a hub for the electric vehicle battery industry, and when that takes off, property values are going to explode. The infrastructure is already in place. The workforce is skilled and ready, and the government incentives are just waiting for the right investors to notice. Smart money is already moving in, buying up properties before the secret gets out. The question is, will you be part of the early wave, or will you be watching from the sidelines when prices double overnight? Number 5. Windsor, the border city secret that changes everything. Now we're getting to the big reveal I promised you wouldn't want to miss. Windsor isn't just affordable. It's the gateway to one of the most explosive economic opportunities in North American history. Here's what nobody is talking about. While everyone focuses on Windsor as a cheap alternative to Toronto housing, they're missing the massive transformation that's happening right across the river. Detroit isn't just recovering, it's becoming a technology and manufacturing powerhouse again, and guess where all the smart Canadians are living while working in this boom? That's right, Windsor. But here's the secret that's about to change everything. The new trade agreements and infrastructure investments are about to make the Windsor-Detroit corridor the most important economic zone in North America. We're talking about a region that's going to rival Silicon Valley for innovation and opportunity. Property values in Windsor are about to experience something that hasn't been seen since the California Gold Rush. Houses that you can buy today for $300,000 are going to be worth triple that in 5 years. But there's more, and this is where it gets really interesting. The Canadian government is quietly implementing policies that are going to make Windsor the preferred location for international businesses wanting access to both Canadian and American markets. When this news breaks publicly, it's going to be too late to get in at ground floor prices. The question is, are you positioned to take advantage of what's coming? Number 4. Sault Ste. Marie, the Algoma Steel Renaissance. Sault Ste. Marie has been written off by too many people for too long, but that's exactly why it's one of the best opportunities in Ontario right now. This city has been quietly rebuilding itself, and the results are starting to show in ways that are catching national attention. The average home price is still under $250,000, but that's about to change dramatically. Here's why. Algoma Steel isn't just surviving, it's thriving in ways that are reshaping the entire economy of the region. The company has invested billions in green steel technology, positioning itself as a leader in the sustainable metals industry. This isn't just about jobs. This is about becoming a cornerstone of the green economy that governments around the world are desperately trying to build. But steel is just the beginning. The city has leveraged its position on the Great Lakes to become a logistics hub that's essential to North American trade. When you combine affordable housing, stable employment, natural beauty that rivals anywhere in Canada, and proximity to both American and Canadian markets, you get an opportunity that smart investors recognize as once in a generation. The community has all the amenities of a much larger city, but with small-town values and prices that seem impossible in today's market. Are you seeing the pattern here? These aren't just affordable places to live, they're strategic investments in your future. Number 3. Thunder Bay, the sleeping giant awakens. Thunder Bay is called the sleeping giant for good reason, but what most people don't realize is that the giant is waking up. This city has everything. A major port that connects the prairies to the world, 2 universities that attract students globally, healthcare facilities that serve half of northern Ontario, and natural beauty that makes it a destination in its own right. The average home price is still under $400,000, but here's what's changing everything. The federal government has designated Thunder Bay as a critical hub for northern Ontario development, and the investments that are flowing in are staggering. We're talking about transportation infrastructure, technology centers, and resource development projects that are going to transform the entire region. But here's the part that gets really exciting. Thunder Bay is becoming a center for indigenous economic development in ways that are creating opportunities nobody saw coming. The partnerships between indigenous communities, government, and private industry are creating an economic model that's being studied around the world. This isn't just about resource extraction. This is about sustainable development that benefits everyone. The real estate market is just beginning to reflect these changes, but the smart money is already moving in. When you can buy a house with a view of Lake Superior for less than a condo in Hamilton, you have to ask yourself, what am I waiting for? Number 2, Cochrane, the $10 land deal that will make you rethink everything. Remember when I told you not to miss number 2? Here's why this is going to blow your mind. Cochrane isn't just offering land for $10, they're offering you the chance to be part of the most audacious community development project in Canadian history. This town of 5,000 people has a plan that sounds like science fiction, but it's happening right now. They're not just selling cheap land, they're building a model community that's designed to prove that small towns can offer a quality of life that surpasses anything available in major cities. Here's what they're really doing. Cochrane is positioning itself as a test case for remote work, sustainable living, and community-centered development. The $10 land comes with support systems that include job placement assistance, entrepreneurship programs, and community amenities that are being funded by partnerships with major corporations who want to study how distributed workforces can thrive in small communities. But here's the secret that makes this really special. Cochrane sits at the intersection of major transportation routes that are about to become critical as climate change opens up northern shipping lanes. This isn't just about cheap land. This is about getting in on the ground floor of what could become one of the most important logistics hubs in North America. The town council isn't just planning for growth. They're planning for explosive growth, and they want to control that growth to ensure it benefits the community. When major industries figure out what Cochrane has figured out, that $10 land is going to look like the deal of the century. Number 1. The Northern Ontario Revolution nobody saw coming. Here's the truth that connects all of these hidden gems, and it's bigger than just affordable housing. What we're witnessing is the beginning of a fundamental shift in how and where Canadians are going to live and work. These aren't just cheap places to live. They're the foundation of a new economic model that's being built while everyone else is fighting over overpriced real estate in major cities. The pattern you've seen in every single location we've discussed isn't coincidence, it's coordination. Federal and provincial governments, along with forward-thinking communities, are quietly building the infrastructure for a distributed economy that's going to make traditional urban centers obsolete for many industries. Remote work was just the beginning. What's coming next is remote manufacturing, distributed energy production, and resource development that doesn't require massive population centers. These Northern Ontario communities aren't just offering affordable housing, they're offering you the chance to be part of the economic model of the future. While everyone else is paying millions for the privilege of sitting in traffic and breathing polluted air, these communities are building sustainable, connected, prosperous lives that previous generations could only dream of. The real estate discounts aren't just about current market conditions. They're investments in a future that's already being built. The question isn't whether you can afford to move to one of these places. The question is, can you afford not to? These 10 hidden gems represent more than just affordable housing. They're your chance to be part of the future of Ontario. From Cochrane's revolutionary $10 land deals to Windsor's position at the heart of North American trade, these communities are rewriting the rules of what it means to live well in Canada. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Click on the bell icon to get notified when we release our next video exploring Canada's best-kept secrets.